Let's talk about it. I'm listening, baby. You've been working all week. It's a 9 to 5. So won't you join me in my happy hour? It's summer, baby. So stress around. I'll listen while you speak. I won't make a sound. Trouble on me, work it out. We will be carefree. My God, let's be free. Together, no matter, I'm on my happy hour. I'm on my happy hour. Oh, yeah. Hey, I'm on my happy hour. Oh, yeah. Trouble don't be working out. We will be carefree. Let's be free. Let's talk about it. I'm listening, baby. Hey, am I on my happy hour? Oh. Yes, y'all. To the show, y'all. I'm ready to rock and roll, and I hope that you all are going to join me and have a wonderful ball. It's your main man, Andy Brown, rocking it right here on the Online Happy Hour, giving it to you live right here on the stream. I feel good, look good, smell good because I am good. And this is going to be another good show I bring to you today. Shout out to all my people who are texting and talking on the toilet. I don't understand that. Like, why you just can't wait? It's not that serious. But hey, if you think so and you need to, go right ahead. Take some time out for yourself. Relax your mind, let your conscience be free. Go ahead and loosen yourself up. But if you need to stay on your phone and occupy some time, go right ahead and do that. People do it all the time, but it is what it is. I just say let yourself be free and relax a little bit. But yeah, this is the Online Happy Hour. It's your main man, your life coach, your host, your author. About to drop some good game up in here. I feel good. I look good. I know you see the piano back there. I don't touch no keys, but it is what it is, and I hope you're going to enjoy tonight. I'm comfortable. Tracy says I must be on the West Coast with all this sunlight in the background. It's a little early, but I know it gets darker as the day goes on. It's just I'm comfortable today, and I'm feeling good, and I'm going to just relax on this one. So if you want to continue to follow your boy, you can hit me up at the handle Andy Brown Speaks. That's on this platform that you're watching. Also on the YouTube channel. You can follow your boy there on Instagram and Twitter, and also at the handle of Andy Brown Speaks. This show is going to be on your Facebook profile. It's also going to be live on the YouTube page of iLife Radio. That's iLife Radio, which is independent listening is for everyone radio. Hit the page, man. Hit some likes, hit some love. We're going to be able to share this particular topic and chime in and just build a nation of us because, fuck it, it's necessary. We got to do that. I'm excited about the topic we're going to be discussing today. As you know, we broadcast live each and every Tuesday and Thursday right here on this platform, living vicariously through you. And, tonight's not going to be any different that we discussed that. If you want to call in and chime in, I'll put the number in the chat. And I'll also let you know that you can dial it. Man, go ahead and log this in your phones. If you paid your phone bill, the number's going to be there. It's 847-47-iLife. Again, 847-474-5433. Again, 847-474-5433. Logging in. Go ahead and put that in your Androids. Put that in your iPhones. Holler at your boy on this particular topic tonight because we're going to just dive off into this one and have a good show. What I mean by having a good show, this is something that's going to be very necessary. You're going to hear from some men. You're going to hear from some true men about how we feel. It's the holiday season. My recommended holiday movie, if you haven't watched this movie before, in the wonderful year of 1984, there was a movie called Gremlins. And Gremlins is my holiday movie of the week. Sit down and watch that with your family. It's an old throwback classic. And yes, Gremlins is a Christmas movie. It is designed and wrapped around the time of Christmas. There's snow on the ground, water and sunlight and snacks after midnight. It is what it is. But be sure to watch this with your family, man. It's an old throwback. It's a classic. Something you can do. If you've seen the Lampoons, that's probably going to be something I look at later on again as a throwback. But definitely check out Gremlins, man. Watch Gremlins on the throwback. If you got different streaming sources, you can find it there. But Gremlins is my movie pick of the week to do a throwback on. So be sure to check out Gremlins with your family and your friends. And be ready for the holiday season. So if you have not already begun to dive off into your holiday shopping, I want to just encourage everybody, go ahead and get that shit out the way. All right? No need to sit around and wait till the last minute, December, 23rd, 22nd, and all of a sudden you got some ideas to get some gifts, and you fuck around and get some cards and some shit people don't really like. Don't do that. Don't be that guy. Don't be that girl. You say it's the thought that counts, but you didn't think about them until the last minute, so don't try to get them a gift at the last minute. Don't do that. Yeah, be mindful of what you get. When you say it's all about the giving, is it really giving of your time? Is it giving of your money? Is it giving of your energy? Consider all that you're doing around this season. So don't put a lot of pressure on these drivers out here. Don't put a lot of pressure, on these stores, and make sure that they have your products. If you all haven't followed me earlier, I posted something on my social platform that said I ordered something off of Etsy October the 20th. And I still ain't got that motherfucker yet. Like, that's crazy to me. But hey, I'm not tripping. It was only like, $13 or whatever, but it's still my $13. And I'm not going to go ham on the postal people. That's unnecessary. I made my complaint. I filed my complaint. I want my $13 back, and I still want my personal gift to myself. But I definitely want to make sure that, you all stay in tune and don't try to wait to get last minute stuff for your relatives, your parents, your cousins, your significant others, and especially for your children. That ain't what that's about. So, yeah, that's crazy. Today's topic, we're going to be discussing that. I'm ready to dive off into this. I hope you are. Get your cups. Hold your glasses. Ladies, shake your asses. I'm going to have a sip. Before we begin, the thoughts and ideas displayed today on the Online Happy Hour do not reflect those who are creating this platform. But what it does reflect are those who are on this program and this platform willing to talk about their life, their experiences as it relates to the subject matter today. Now, what we're going to talk about today, ladies and gentlemen, is something very, very important. It is something that we often bypass in discussion. We think about it, but we don't really give it a chance to breathe life. And I'm going to give that opportunity to breathe some life today. So today we're going to be discussing what single dads do during the holidays. Yeah, I said it. The men need a voice too. We've been going around, hearing from the ladies and talking with the ladies, and there's nothing wrong with that. But sometimes we overlook the male voice, right? We miss the bass, we miss that tone, we miss that heaviness, we miss the masculine energy to come along and express how we feel and what we go through. Is that being soft? No. What that is saying that there's a time that a man needs to be heard. And to get some understanding, I think it's necessary to hear from a man. Also, we have people who are getting out here and telling you what a man should do and what a father should do, what a husband should do, but they haven't worn the shoes of fatherhood, right? There are men out there who are telling you what to do. They have not been fathered themselves, nor are they fathers. And it's difficult to receive information from said gentlemen and ladies. Yeah, it goes both ways. So why is this important? Why was this a topic? Well, one, it was given to me. Somebody said, hey, you know what? I think you should talk about this because, that male energy and that male voice needs to be heard. So this is an opportunity for men to jump on the platform and talk about what goes on from the fathers. Because listen, we all know with the holidays upon us, you're setting up your Christmas trees. Some houses put trees up, some people don't, for whatever their reason, whether they're excited about the holiday spirit, whether they're choosing not to celebrate, whether they're not going to be around for the holidays just because, hey, why put all this stuff up and I'm not going to be here? And even to go as far as looking at depression, because be honest with yourselves, not everybody gets excited around this time of year. There's some folks sniffing and snotting and crying behind closed doors, and they like to keep stuff quiet. They like to keep that feeling away. The pine and the mistletoe and the tinsel and the fucking Christmas carols and Ebenezer Scrooge and all that kind of stuff. They don't want to be around that. So they shy away from it. Maybe they had a bad experience in their childhood. Maybe they had a bad experience in their adulthood. Or maybe they just don't believe in what the essence of Christmas is supposed to represent. We wrap our minds and our money around the season of giving and presents and toys and candy and cookies and fucking Santa Claus and elves, and I get it. It's the year end and we got lots of shopping and stuff to buy. But are we considering and thinking about those who are, I don't want to say less fortunate, but probably don't have this on their mind on the regular basis? Nor are they in position to receive all that's holy and all that's joyful, right? Not long ago, there was a lot of folks who are out of work because of COVID-19. There are people who are still struggling, to make some ends meet. So to get out and do some retail, splurging and shopping doesn't bring a whole lot of positive energy toward them. And that could be a lot of pressure on some people because they feel obligated, right? They feel obligated to go out and buy something and be a part of the whole holiday spirit, when in actuality, they don't really feel like doing that shit. Come on now, have a sip, man. You got time. Take your phone with you. If you've downloaded this on your phone, go ahead and do that. Walk around, go to the kitchen, pour you one up. You can come back, have some water if necessary, but go ahead and just pull one up and get ready for this one because this is real. Ladies, I got some men that's going to come on here and talk about this, so go ahead and get ready. If you wonder what your baby daddy is thinking about this time of year, well, chances are this is going to be relative. Right? If you're wondering what your boyfriend goes through this time of year, well, you're going to find out what's going on, right? Because often ladies may see, him. He's spending time with you and, lovey-dovey and wants to, enjoy the holiday cookies and the family and the festives. But do you ever consider the fact that he's not spending this hour and this time with his children? Do you ever give the consideration that maybe we could do this at either his place or, in the company of his side of the family? No. Do you ever kind of look back and say, well, you know what? I'm glad my children have a good father figure and a good male image around, but do you welcome his daughter? Can his son come around? No. You don't think that way? Okay, I get it. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk to the men, and we're going to hear from men how they feel about this topic. So again, 847-47-iLife is the call-in number. Get your shit together, man. Get yourselves prepared. Let's dive off into this. I got some people that I want to hear from. They're going to weigh in just a moment, but I just wanted to make sure that we set the table and set the scene up for understanding. Right now, it's. I'm not saying that ladies are not going to be welcome to chime in. That's not what I'm saying at all. What I am saying is it's time to hear from men. It's time to hear men talk about what's going on with us, from us, and about us. Right? We've got so much stuff going on right now that people are having a difficult time receiving and hearing truth. Right? We paint nasty pictures and unnecessary images about ourselves simply because we're not allowing ourselves to hear what somebody's saying. I can give you a prime example. I made a comment on somebody's page the other day, in reference to the whole Kevin Samuels comment, right? And we all know about the young lady who called herself a 5, and he made some comments about her not being where she needs to be on her level. Look, don't misconstrue information because you didn't hear it the way you felt it was intended. You have to be able to understand and receive truth for where it is and what it is, right? So if somebody tells you, man, it's hot outside. Oh, so what you saying? You don't like cold weather? You don't like the snow? You can't deal with this? That's why I don't like you motherfuckers coming up in here talking about global warming. You always want to complain about something and have no leg to stand on. Well, if it's always hot outside, take your ass back to Africa. No, none of that. Somebody just said it was hot outside. And you want to elaborate and take it to a whole different level, not really hearing what this person had to say, but you're interjecting negativity and thoughts based on ideas which make no freaking sense. So take the time to understand what somebody's saying before we even get involved in these type of conversations. And I'm not saying that to push anybody away. What I am saying is my Bible readers are out there, right? In the book of Proverbs, there's a passage that says, in everything that you get understanding. Not everything that you hear run off with some shit that they didn't mean. That's not how this works. What you have to be able to do, ladies and gentlemen, is to understand what you heard. Hey, man, could you repeat that? Could you say that again? I think you said this, but what I interpreted was something else. Rather than jump off the bridge and go totally left on something, which is unnecessary. Don't do that to yourselves. Don't do that to other people. You want to have better understanding, and that allows for us to just have true communication within everybody. You have to do it. Okay. Please do that. Please understand that this is more than just talking to and about people. We don't really do that here. So if this is the first time you're jumping on the online happy hour, yes, we're gonna have some drinks. Yes, we're gonna have some fun. Hit some likes, hit some loves, show some appreciation, show some representation. Get the spirits pouring. Because I'm in a good mood, man. I'm feeling festive. I'm feeling right. I'm representing my GSU tonight. I know there's another couple of games that are going to be on. The NFL's playing their games, and the brothers are trying to hear it. And that's going to be good, man. But I want you all to be sure that what you're getting tonight is true understanding and hear from men about what's going on. Single dads, if you're out there, the phone lines are going to be open for you. Again, 847-47-iLife. Single ladies, if you have any questions for these single fathers, please be sure to chime in. Questions, okay? If you got issues with your child's father and all of that, then that's between you and that significant other, that person out there. What we're doing is what we're providing you as a platform to come on here and say, let me understand what's going on. Let me get both sides of the spectrum. There's your truth, there's his truth, and then there is the truth, right? So we got to be able to get some understanding on this and talk about this for what it really is. Because one thing you got to realize is that there's some children involved, right? And those children are going to grow up and they see what mom is doing. They see how mom is behaving. And they look over here and they see what dad is doing. They see how dad is behaving. And they're caught in the middle and they got to make some decisions, right? They got to see what's happening. So, if we're over here and we're saying one thing about dad and, how he's living and what he's doing over here, then that mind is going to go all different directions. And we're over here and we're talking about mom and what she's doing and who she's doing it with, then that child is going to have all these different ideas what's going on because you don't know what kind of image that you're painting towards women for that young girl, for that young man. You don't know what kind of image that you're painting towards men and how she sees her father and whatever images you're talking about, especially now, right? Especially in the season of giving, especially in this COVID-19, especially in this time where people just aren't doing what we used to do as frequently. So if we're not moving around and doing as much as you think people should be doing, it's kind of unnecessary to point that finger without getting clarity of what's going on, right? So be honest with yourselves, man. Be honest with what's going on. Hit some likes, hit some loves. Have the fellas call in and chime in again. 847-474-5433 is the call-in number. And let's really get down and talk about this because let me just kind of share what's going on this side. and keep it transparent, because I can do that over here. So you have situations, we're talking about, what single dads do during the holidays. So for myself, I can take you back to the early 2000s when my son was very young. It was very difficult at times for me to be present with him because he grew up in the Caribbean island of Barbados, West Indies. Now, for those who don't know where Barbados is, it's the southernmost Caribbean island, very, very, very far south. No, it is not the Bahamas. No, it is not Trinidad Tobago. It is an actual island called Barbados. Let's get geographically understood here. So him growing up as a small child, sometimes I had to look at and say, okay, well, what is best for me to do here in this situation? Is it best to just go ahead and send gifts, or do I make the time to go over and see him? And you all know, being in this time of era of being employed and having to work, your employer doesn't always give you, ample time to, take off for vacation and holidays, right? If somebody has a shift they have to cover, and Karen has these amount of days off that she can take, and John has these amount of days they have to take off, and Billy has these amount of days. Well, not everybody can take, a whole freaking week off for the holidays, especially if you haven't built up that PTO, right? So here I am stuck to where I have to just go and, spend 2 or 3 days and with no gifts, or I can send everything that you want in toys because I can balance out, the giving, right? So there's going to be somebody that says, well, you need to make more money. You should be able to afford that. There's always somebody that says that. However, that wasn't my financial situation. So couldn't be able to jump on, couldn't be able to spend that money. So what I did is I chose to go ahead and jump in and make some time and go over there. And the expression and the look on his face, oh man, was to couldn't change it. You know what I'm saying? It's something about that presence that made the trip worthwhile. So that was one of the most fondest Christmases I remember, because you just don't know what single dads do and what they go through during the holidays. But that's enough about me. Let me go ahead and bring on a gentleman that can also kind of elaborate on this one. Really good friend of mine in the greater Kansas City area, doing some wonderful things, man, with his family, with friends. He does a wonderful job being a great influencer in young children's lives, especially as a coach. So if you know exactly what I'm talking about, let me bring on one of the fantastic twins in the greater KC area, Mr. William Billy Gillespie. What's going on, Billy? How you doing, man? I'm talking to you, dude, with the headphones and the Santa Claus beard. Can you hear me? Are you unable to hear me? Are you there, Billy? It's okay to speak whenever you're ready.
All right, can you hear me?
Yeah, man. What's going on?
What's up, Andy? How you doing, brother?
I'm cool, man. I'm cool. Welcome to the happy hour. Good to see you.
Appreciate you having me, man. Appreciate you having me.
So first of all, for the listeners, yes, cheers to you, bro. Cheers to you for real. We're gonna have some fun on this one. I love the Santa Claus beard you got rocking right there.
Thanks, brother.
Yeah. I can't grow facial hair like that. This is as far as it's gonna go before it gets all nasty and lumpy and do some more Anthony Hamilton type shit. So kind of talk to me, man, really one about you as a father, when we're talking about single dads. When you get in the position of being a single father, right?
Mm-hmm.
What is the biggest difference that you notice going into the holiday season that says, damn, this is different than what it used to be?
I think if you're going to be honest and upfront, financially is probably one of the bigger things that you look at first. Secondly, you deal with being alone, man. Let's be honest, if it's a 50-50 half the time, you're solo. You're rocking everything by yourself. You're shopping by yourself. You're
Right.
planning Elf on the Shelf, or how you can figure out what to do for the kid to continue to believe. And that's probably one of the hardest parts at first. Financially, it was a struggle at first to get used to, because double income is always better than single income. We all know that. But yeah, it definitely was probably the biggest struggle for me was the income based.
Okay. Yeah, I talked about that earlier myself, man, having to split that time. And, my son grew up in Barbados, and it
Mhm.
was a big deal for me to have to either make the decision to, do I buy his gifts or do I spend the money on the airline ticket and go over there and see him myself? So the
Right.
income, yeah, I got to go. And there's always somebody that says, well, you need to make more money, stand up as a man and be a real man. And I ain't trying to hear that shit.
It's it's ironic because so many people I was listening to you before I came on, and so
Mhm.
many people do they weigh in. They don't know shit about fatherhood.
Right.
They're not a dad, but they want to tell you how to be a dad.
No.
So a lot of the things with being a father that I have to say I really appreciate, especially being a single dad, is you're scarred, right? But those scars are what builds you. Like how you were cut up, how did it heal? What happens on the flip side of it. So being scarred as a single dad, and that goes with, hey, no, you can't see him for
Mhm.
whatever reason, or hey, no, he's busy right now, he can't talk on the phone,
Oh my God, you
or
get that too?
or 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 hey, you remember what you were going to buy him for Christmas? I already bought it. I mean, there's so many of those that slap you in the face and they kind of wake you up to say, hmm, yeah, is this what it's going to be like till he's 18, till he's 25, till how long is this going to be?
Right. He's making a lot of sense, man. One thing I wanted to ask you is, what do you do when you don't have your son with you for the holidays? And for those who don't know, you're a single father raising one 11-year-old son, right, Cameron?
Correct, Cameron. Correct. So I'm blessed, man, with family. Let's be first and honest there. Blessed with family. The first several years it was hard. It was really really hard. I can recall the very first year that I had Cameron on Christmas Day. She had him on Christmas Eve. So I
Mm.
sat there on Christmas Eve by myself. My mom, who you know very well, she reached out and she's like, "Hey, come stay the night." And I said, "Hey, you know what? I don't want to." She's like, "What? Why?" I said, "Because I need to know what it's going to feel like. I need to know what type of pain I'm going to feel, not just with Christmas and birthdays, and I need to know on shared holidays what is this going to feel like."
Yeah.
So I sat at home on Christmas Eve that very first year, 2014. I remember it to this day. Sat at home, woke up the next morning, and it was just kind of surreal because it was quiet, and you've done all this stuff, and you've set all the gifts out and set it up for him to see, and you're sitting there alone. Very difficult. Probably the loneliest time in your life is when you're sitting at home on a holiday without your kid. So it was difficult, but family, 100% family and friends. Chris Hudson, you know Chris very well. Chris, one of my great friends. Just name dropped him on air. Chris he was there. I mean, that's my son's godfather. He was a blessing, an absolute blessing for me because it allowed me to have the ability to vent to somebody, and it wasn't biased. It
Yeah.
wasn't biased. He let me he just let it all out. Just, hey, Billy, just give it to me. Let it all out. I let it all out to him. So
Do you think the other parent even considers what fathers go through?
I don't think they do it first. And I guess you could kind of flip that both ways. That
Mhm.
sometimes we don't consider what they go through. But I think early in a breakup or a divorce, mine was a divorce. So I think early on in that aspect, it's selfish, man. It's a
Mm.
selfish fucking game. I mean, it's a grab. It's all about what can I do to put myself in the limelight so that the kid sees, hey, this person's doing this, but this one's not doing this. And when you can manipulate the system a little bit, when you can pull the person over on this side and not on this side, it eyes heavy on the kids. So yeah. So at first, I think the first, oh man, I'd probably say about the first 4 years were really hard. I was blessed in the fact that my kid's mother, she works crazy, strange hours. And I have my son, he was with me about 5 days a week. So I had him a lot. So I was blessed in that aspect. But on the days that you don't have him, hey, can I talk to him? Can I tell him good night? No, we're busy, or no, I'm here. Or even better, hey, it's my day to have him, but I gave him to somebody else.
Oh,
When dad could have, first right of refusal type thing. That's hard, man. That's hard. When you tell a father that, hey, the most important thing to me today is that I go to the club, but yet I'm going to let somebody else watch your child, that stabs you. That stabs you.
I get it. That's a terrible feeling, man.
Yep.
I've gone through similar things, so you kind of brought back some memories that kind of hurt. But let's kind of keep the party going, man. I got the phone lines open. If you're chiming in, man, 847-47 iLife is the call-in number. The resident doctor is chiming in and wants to weigh on this. JR, you on the line? What's going on, man? I don't know if Billy can hear you right now, but kind of, if you don't mind, JR, turn your volume down on there.
Okay.
You got it? So let's do this, man. Talk to me a little bit about what you heard. We're talking about single dads during the holidays, and what I want to know is from you as a father, man. We talked about what you do, when you don't have the kids around. But one thing I want to hear from you, JR, like if you are ever having to negotiate, having to split holidays, what's the most challenging part of that? Especially when you're dealing with a parent who doesn't see eye to eye with what you're doing.
Yeah, so I think for me, we kind of was sharing the holidays or things of that nature before we got a lawyer involved to write up papers for shared custody, right?
Okay. Billy, can you hear me?
And so that was kind of already a step. But at the same time, I had my son pretty much all the time.
Okay.
And so he was used to a kind of certain environment and, no smoking. And he has asthma, his mom and his aunts, and they kind of smoke. And, so he wanted to play with his cousins and stuff. But at the same time, he didn't want to be there alone because that's just wasn't the environment that he was used to. So I really didn't say much to her per se. I just pretty much let my actions speak. And so at the same time, I would always tell him, you don't never have to stay somewhere where you don't feel welcome.
Okay.
And it don't matter what time of the day or the night it is, when you're ready to go, you pick up the phone. Now, I work in the medical field and I've traveled. And so when I wasn't able to do it myself, then my mother was able to be the point person. And so, without that family support, I would have probably been really lost because I wouldn't be able to handle the situation.
Wow.
And so I was able to handle the situation kind of indirectly, so I didn't, nothing really terrible for me. It's just that, I wanted him to kind of to be a certain way. And so when I talk to his mother about certain things, I just say, hey, you need to be mindful. You know what I'm saying? I use words like that, be mindful about this, that, and the other. Not necessarily trying to tell her, you can't do this, or, this guy can't be around my son or anything like that.
Gotcha.
And, but, she did have a guy around at one time, in and out of prison, and this guy, he threatened me, gonna beat me up, and and all of this stuff, and he's like, I know what you do, I know you do surgery in the day, and you police officer at night, and I was like, if you know what I do, then why are you threatening me? That don't even make sense to me. Why would you threaten an officer, right?
That's crazy.
Right. And so, and he smoked a lot of weed, and and I just tried to tell him, I said, our son got asthma, and this dude, you allowing this dude to do this, right? And so it was just kind of crazy like that. And I did get to the point at one time to where, I was willing to go to jail.
Oh no. Don't take it that far. So this is what I wanted to ask you, JR. And I'm gonna come to Billy first, and I want both of you guys to answer this question. We're talking about single dads during the holidays, and if you're just now tuning in, this shows Hottest Fisheries, man. We doing it live right here. Billy, tell me about this, man. Do you expect a certain routine throughout the holiday season because you want your child to have a routine, or maybe it falls in line with your work schedule?
No, I don't, and I say that because the families vary. It's different. Holidays to my family, huge, big deal. On her side, not so much. So we don't structure to where, hey, 3:00, everybody meet at mom's house, or every year, and we're going to do that routine every year. We actually rotate. Last year, Christmas at the twin brother's house, down at Bobby's house.
Okay.
So we change it up a little bit. We don't have any structure, and the first several years, it was hard to line it up because you would say, "Hey, we have something going on at 10:00 in the morning on Christmas Day," and guess what she'll say? "Hey, we got something at 10:00 too." But did you? Because I just heard about it right now. So why didn't you tell me that yesterday or 2 days ago or whatever? So it was always combative like that for the first couple of years. But now, thank God, we're to the level where we don't have to worry about that. We can kind of talk about it and say, hey, my mom, we kind of, this side of the family, we got something going at this time. What do you guys got going on? And then we kind of work it out, thank God. But like I said, the first 4 years, man, there was no such thing as working it out. Wasn't going to happen.
I dig it. What about you, Jay? Are you expecting a certain routine every year to kind of make sure, because you're working 2 jobs, man? That's a whole lot.
Right.
The routine for me was, if they didn't go out of town, then he would basically be at both houses.
Okay.
But if he, went out of town with his mom to the country or whatever, he was fine, going down there. But then sometimes I would get a phone call and he just didn't want to be there no more. But that was a 3-hour drive from Oklahoma City to Hugo, Oklahoma. You know what I'm saying? It's not a little,
around the corner, right?
Yeah. So a lot of times, I just talk to him and just try to, say, hey, just kind of hang with your cousins, or you gotta. I had to teach him at an early age how to separate yourself from other things.
Okay.
And so, but for us, I usually go to church on, Thanksgiving mornings and Christmas mornings, and so it wasn't nothing the kids had to go to. Now I ask them, I was like, hey, I'm going to church. You want to go? And a lot of times they was like, yeah, Daddy, we want to go. And so I was cool with that, and then, if she want me to drop them off or whatever, I didn't have a problem with that. Or, but if we got something going on the next day, I say, hey, I'll be back when it's time to pick them up because, you got to get to bed, or what have you. And so I don't think, we didn't see too good, structure-wise, because I was more structured than she was. But I did a lot of bulk of the work too. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing a lot of the pick up, drop off from school, taking them to practices, doing homework. All these things. I'm going to the parent-teacher conferences.
Jeez.
And at the same time, and Andy knows this, I was in Dallas 90% of the time.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? But I get on that road and I make a beeline to Oklahoma City and do everything I can with the kids and meetings or whatever, and I'm back on the road heading back to Texas. So, I'm not. She always had an excuse. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And
Now
so,
that is something that kind of that sparked the match right here. Right. There's always excuses. So I got people that have been texting me, have been chiming in. They want to hear from the family on this one. They want to hear from you fellas on this one. JR, you might want to go first. Bobby, Billy, have you a sip? Because this is about to get real. We're in here. We're doing good. This is the online happy hour. Somebody wants to know what means more to you as a father, time spent or what you buy them for the holidays?
time spent. You can't put a price on it. You can't put a price on it. A judge cannot put a certain amount to make a man pay.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? If he's spending more time, then at the end of the day, that's what that kid is going to remember. The time that they spent together, going fishing, going to the zoo, ball games, riding around, the kid cat sitting in the house doing nothing, watching cartoons or whatever. As that child gets older, that's what they're going to remember. Because they don't really understand and know about the value of the dollar, right?
Okay.
But that time spent, hey, you can't put a price on that. And the thing is, if a lot of the mothers would focus more on that about the father and the child building that bond and that relationship than always trying to dig into the pocket, the relationships, co-parenting would be so much better.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's real talk.
So,
Billy, what you got on that one, man? What are your thoughts on that question?
100% agree. That it's funny to me that the biggest question that's brought up is for a birthday, right? You show up to a birthday party, and the first thing sometimes you hear is, "What did you put on it? What did you buy them? Am I here? A, I'm here. B, where were you at for the Little League football practice and the Little League baseball practices? Where were you at for the homework?" Absolutely 100% time spent. Time spent is the absolute most important thing in a child's life. They're going to remember it, just like JR was saying. They're going to remember that more than the financial things, because let's be honest, financial things are replaced really easily with the next best financial thing. Like, oh, you got me an Xbox. Oh, now I got an iPhone. I don't remember the Xbox anymore. But the kid's always going to remember the time spent. Those are the best memories that a child can ever have. I grew up, bless her heart, if she's listening, if mama's listening, I grew up family of 4, plus mom and my pops. We didn't have a lot of money. We grew up in Northeast Kansas City. We went to Raytown because we lived in my grandmother's house. So we grew up with not a lot of money. But what I do remember is, what did we do? Every holiday. We didn't have the greatest things under the tree, but guess what? We celebrated that holiday right. Every holiday, every birthday, going to the park, going up to Bud Park and spending time, going over to the baseball field and playing ball. That's what I remember more than anything. You can ask me, what were you bought for your 8th birthday? No clue. I have no idea. But I can tell you what the party was, because we had a lot of people there. There was memories created.
Okay. It's getting real, folks. If you're just now tuning in, you're missing some really hot conversation. We're sitting back having some good drinks. The resident doctor's online. My main man, Billy Gillespie's on the line, chiming in from Kansas City. We're about to get it in. We're about to have some fun. We're talking about what single dads do for the holidays. I got some people that must have missed a call in. Call back and get some of this good game, man. It's 847-47-ILIFE. Again, 847-474-5433 is the call-in number. So many questions have to be asked, and I think the ladies want to weigh in, but I think it's time to listen for a good one on this one. This is some real stuff. So as we move a little further, we talked about, the giving and the receiving, right? What is the most important thing that you want your kids to recognize about the Christmas holiday with you? And I think JR went first. Billy, you want to maybe chime in first on this one? What's the most important thing you want your kids to understand about the holidays?
I think the most important thing is giving, 100% giving. my little brother blessed my son, I believe it was 3 years ago on his birthday. It's not Christmas, but it was his birthday. They went up, got some food together, went up to the Sinclair up the street by the stadium, and they gave a homeless man some food on my son's birthday. That's what he did. So we really preach giving. The biggest gift that you can get is giving to somebody. Somebody else is happy. Somebody else's, you made somebody else's day. Going by to see mom, going by to see dad, whatever the case may be. But 100%, it's giving. I want my son to come out of life itself, teaching his kids the same thing. It's all about giving. It's not about how much money you have. It's not about 1,000 presents under the tree. It's about giving, whether that's with material things or whether that's giving love. It's giving, 100%.
All the time?
I think so. I think so all the time.
Okay. Respect on that one. Let's I want to agree with that. I totally want to agree with that one. JR, what do you want to chime in and say on that one, man? What do you think is the biggest takeaway you want your child or your children to receive when it comes to the holiday season?
Yeah, I agree. It's giving. Everybody would like to, receive nice gifts and things of that nature. But sometimes you gotta just you gotta talk to kids to let them know that when things not going their way and they think it's the end of the world, there's a whole lot of other people their age who have it a whole lot worse.
Mm.
And so if you could just give a little something, time, go serve for food, do something in the community for the less fortunate, anything like that, I promise you, when you see a smile on their face, because you took time out of your day to do something for them and you don't really even know them, you feel a whole lot better. Just not about yourself, but about your character. And that speaks more volumes than anything else in the world. Because, you never know who's watching. You never know who's paying attention to you. And so if your walk in life is faith, people don't see that. You know what I'm saying? And so, what you preaching and what you're teaching and how you walking is you're going to expose yourself. Ain't nobody got to do it for you. Because you don't realize everything that you're saying ain't how you living. And I'm not saying you got to live perfect and all that stuff, but you trying to be helpful and you trying to be, a kind person on a regular and a daily basis. You open that door for somebody. You see that young lady walking 3 steps behind you. Just hold the door open. Or you see that older gentleman, that older man, that seasoned woman coming. Hold that door for him. Let them know chivalry ain't dead. It's just been on the back burner. You see what I'm saying?
Well, speaking of back burners, we have a call that's been on the back burner for a while and wants to chime in. Listen, folks, if you paid your phone bill and you want to get some of this good game tonight, I have a caller chiming in from the Columbia, Missouri area. If you paid your bill and your phone number ends in 1062, you're on the online happy hour. Who is this?
What's up, Billy Bob?
Hey, that's Bobby.
Oh, you got your brother calling in?
That's a twin, I think.
What's up, Bobby? How you doing, man?
Hey, man, I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Hey, this is enjoyable, man. I really do like to watch this. I'm a little upset with myself that I haven't done it sooner.
Well, no need to do that. Just whatever that beefing shit is, put a battery in it and change it. Talk to me, man. What's happening?
I was backing up. The car.
I was going to say, that wasn't me.
Well, we're talking about single dads and what single dads do for the holidays. And I don't know if this touches you all the way. Like, you've been married since your kids were born, right?
Yeah. I've been lucky enough to be married for almost 20 years now.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say this. That man right there with the headphones on, that bald man, you mean?
Are you crying?
No, that's my dude. Okay, he's been through a lot. Okay, excuse me, and I'm sorry for this, but we've had a lot of conversations.
Okay.
2 a.m., 3 a.m., 2 p.m., 3 p.m. I don't know that I've met anybody that loves their son
Mm-hmm.
as much as that guy.
I fucking believe you.
And I don't want to take the whole show. I don't want to make this a sob show. That obviously, I'm calling in to vouch.
Right.
And I think single dads, single parents in general, but definitely single dads, they probably need a little bit of reiteration, a little bit of confidence in what they're doing. This guy right there, this bald guy with that big old beard, takes time out of his own personal time that he could be with just his son to enhance his son by coaching him in every sport known to man and just doing things. What this guy right here, he'll call me and be taking his dog and his son on a walk,
Mm-hmm.
or going to the local pond to go fishing, or any of that stuff. But when it comes to holidays,
Right.
and Billy touched on this, when it comes to holidays, you can have a BMX bike under there. It doesn't matter. You can have iPhone. I don't care. You can throw all that stuff out the window. That's one thing I've definitely taught. I got 2 daughters. One of them's 18. She's going to graduate high school this year, and the other one's an 8th grader. I have taught my 2 daughters, it is not what you have in the form of things.
Mm-hmm.
What you have in life is the people that you have around you. And that is all you got.
Right.
Bottom line. And Billy has surrounded himself, I think, with, good people, good role models. It wasn't tough, it was tough at first.
Always.
I don't think it's as tough now. I think he would agree with that, and you probably agree with that too, wouldn't you, Andy?
Absolutely, yes. Still is.
And, I just try to be that shoulder for him, that ear for him. And, he mentioned Chris Hudson, good friend of ours, all 3 of ours, actually. And, it's just one of those things where I think that, especially in 2020, boy, especially in 2020, I think the value of things is completely blown out of proportion compared to the value of family or friends.
Okay.
And, I live an hour and a half southeast of Kansas City now. I'm not close. I don't get to see Billy and Cameron as much as I'd like. But, I got my family. And that's just what it boils down to. I got my family. He's got his. But I'm here to vouch for him, man. Couldn't be more proud of a young man being a single father.
That's awesome, man.
Appreciate that.
You can vouch with somebody who's closer to you. Let me ask you this, Bobby, since you're on the line, because you can see what he can't see, right? As single fathers, we have blinders on that we only see from our perspective. So what is it that you think that the other parent doesn't really understand that the single dad goes through?
Well, I think hopefully I don't get bashed for this, but I'm going to throw this out there. The hot topic is this. When parents split, it is always said that the kid would go with the mom.
Okay.
And that, to me, is so disproportionately incorrect. Being around Billy and his ex and Billy's family, obviously, and her family, Cameron couldn't have been put in a better situation than to be with his dad.
Got it.
And I say that with a grain of salt, not knocking, but the blinders you're talking about, I could see it. Billy knows. You know, Billy and I talked about it quite a bit, and I could see it. We could see this slowly developing and kind of things that were going to happen. And it was, like I said, it was tough for Billy, very, very, very tough. But, you know, whether it's a guy, son, daughter, okay, guy or girl, I think the value of the dad is very underrated
Amen.
in society.
Wow.
Now, whether that comes from that stigma that's out there,
Yeah.
or whether that comes from biases within the family, or you know, whatever side of that family, but the value of a dad is extremely underrated.
Well, hold that thought. Hold that thought right there. Shit just got real good. Billy, you okay, man? You need to wipe your face?
No, I'm good. I'm good, bro.
All right. JR, you still there?
Yeah, for a few more minutes.
Okay, well, hold on one second. Bobby brought about the issue about the value of the dad. Let me bring on somebody else who's on the line that can chime in on this. My main man, Sean, is on the line doing this thing.
Hey, how's it going?
The dad, what a single dad does during the holidays. Sean, what's good, fam? How you doing, man?
I'm fine, man. Brother, about to get ready to go to work. That's about it.
Okay. Well, welcome, man. Appreciate you making time. Say hello to my main man, Billy Gillespie.
Hey, Billy, how's it going? What's in that glass you drinking, man?
Hey, that's Jameson and Sprite, man.
You touched the Jameson?
I need a Jameson. I need a Jameson and pickleback.
Jameson needs 3 cubes of ice, and that's pretty much it. But Sean, I want you to chime in, man. Billy made up a good point. The value of the father when it comes to the holidays, right?
Yes.
Kind of give me your insight, man, on why you think it's important for dad to be around during the holidays, and we're talking about what single dads do during the holidays.
Well, for me, man, like my little girl, she's fixing to be 12, December 31st. So
Okay.
I have Christmas, then birthday a week later after that.
Oh, shit, yeah.
So to me, man, for a child, man, it's important for a father to be around the holidays, a special time of the year on top of that. And kids are kind of sentimental because the parents are not in the same household like they should be, and kids take that to heart a lot.
Yeah.
So I try my best, man, to be around my daughter during the holidays and to be there for her. Got to excuse me, I'm waiting on somebody. But other than that, man, it's a real challenge, man. It's a real challenge.
Okay. Can be, absolutely. What single dads do for the holidays? JR, the resident doctor's on the line, man. Give me this answer, and I'm going to pass this around the horn, man. Do you think that your children play you against the other parent when it comes to getting gifts this time of year?
No, they never tried to play me with gifts and anything like that because my kids saw the grind firsthand.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And so, and I always try to make sure and tell them that your word is bond, especially my son.
Okay.
Never say anything that you can't deliver on. Your word is all you got. As a man, your word is all you got.
Got it.
So you keep telling somebody, I got you, I'm here for you, and you can call me anytime, and I'm here to listen, and X, Y, and Z, right?
Right.
And then they finally dial you up, but now you too busy, right? Every time they call, it's an excuse on why you don't have no time. So if a man's word ain't no good, then what is that saying about you? But my kids never tried to play me. They never tried to play me against their mother. Because when I put my foot down, that's it.
Okay.
So I knew at one time my son wanted a cell phone because his cousin had a cell phone. And I told him, I said, I'm not buying you a cell phone, but his mother bought him one. Right? And I told him, I said, when you go to her house, you can use that cell phone all you want. But when you come back to this house,
leave it there.
Cell phone. Because I know where you are. Right? Okay. I know where you are. I know where you going, when you're coming back. You don't need no cell phone. So you want a cell phone because everybody else got a cell phone. See, when I get you a cell phone, I'm getting you a cell phone because you're doing active things. Like when you get to middle school, you playing ball and, activity bus and all that. See, then I get you a cell phone. But see, you want the cell phone because that's what your friends got. I need to get you a cell phone because I need to know where you are. I need to know what time that activity bus is really going to come back to the school.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
All right.
See, the phone is for me. The phone ain't for you. But see, kids don't understand that though.
Here we
You
go.
know what I'm saying?
Here we go.
Kids don't understand that. They just want what they want because they see everybody else got it.
Boy.
And for me, I'm gonna get it when I feel like you need it because I need to be in touch. Because you're active now, right? Kids don't get active in school until middle school. So if you ain't in the band, you ain't playing basketball, football, track, wrestling, something like that, you don't need no cell phone because we all know that the activity bus ain't never coming back at 10 o'clock like they say they are, right? It's always an hour and a half later, So
I'm feeling
the
this
cell
one.
phone is for when the bus exit the highway to the school, then call your grandma and say, we just exited the highway because grandma only stayed 3 miles away from the school. See what I'm saying?
See, here's what we're doing, JR. What you're talking about is leading. I don't know what's going on, but I'm getting a whole bunch of text messages that are coming through at the same time, and I want to round robin this shit. Fellas, y'all all right?
I'm good.
Oh yeah.
We good? All right. I see Billy pull a drink back. I know, Sean, you on the clock. Let me ask Sean this question. I'm gonna come to Billy on this one. Here goes, Sean. Somebody just asked, what difference do you notice, good or bad, when your daughter is away and then comes back from the other parent?
Sometime.
Yeah, that's some shit, right?
Yeah, I know, man. That's a good one too. And then I notice a lot of times, man, the mother might be a little lenient than fathers are.
Okay. And
I'm not I ain't gonna say I'm just no strict dad, but I do believe in, hey, you need to follow the rules.
Right.
If father gives you a chore, you need to do that chore, and pretty much that's the way it is. But most of the time, that's what I observe, man. Sometimes the child she don't want to wash dishes, maybe something like that to that extent, and
okay.
Basically, pretty much.
Interesting. Billy, you want the same question, or can we throw something different at you?
It don't matter. I'll take either one.
Well, I tell you what. Here we go. Somebody also wants to know: are we talking about Santa Claus during COVID-19? Damn, that's some real shit.
I mean,
I said to sit there. My kids are grown, so Santa Claus been gone
long time ago.
Mine's not.
Well, his son is 11. His son is
Mine
11.
Is 12, and she knows who brings the gifts. She knows who brings the gifts.
11, and it's still here.
Okay.
Elf on the Shelf. I mean, and I'll never tell them stop believing. You want to keep believing, believe. Because if I crunch this dream, I'm going to crunch a different dream. So keep dreaming, keep believing, and when the time's right, it'll go away. We'll talk about it. We'll move on to the next dream. But it's still here. And during COVID, I'm not going to crush it. Same thing. It'll be the same thing as last year and the year before, the year before, and the year before. I'm going to keep rolling with the same dream.
Okay. Ooh, yeah, this shit is getting good, man. I had a whole bunch of people have been asking since this topic came up, especially ladies, they want to know because I don't think they really understand what fellas go through this time of year. It's a lot of times that we've been given, okay, well, this is what your Christmas is over here, but now just go do that with your dad and come back over here with your family, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes we get treated differently. So, JR, can you tell me this? How do the in-laws respond or react now that things are different?
Well, And
Yeah.
I really never, I don't have any bad things. It just was what it was, right?
Okay.
It's just, so it wasn't anything negative, but I think, but you mentioned value,
Right.
and, go over here with your dad and they come right back. I don't think the mother sometimes, really value, the father. They don't look at the father's time and the quality time we would like to spend with the child, and things that's really important. Or everything we do is just by the wayside, like, oh, your daddy did this, or yeah, he bought this, and there's no value to it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so if you don't keep trying to put positive reinforcements in your kids, then they're gonna take on that negativity that they may hear from the other parent.
Okay.
And that attitude, you may see that attitude show up. Like, I got daughters too, and so you might be able to see that attitude show up. You might have to nip that in the bud real quick, and so you have to keep speaking life, positiveness in them, even though they may hear things.
Mm-hmm.
And so you have to teach them that everything you hear negative, you actually see what I do and what we do, right? So you have to teach them early that everything you hear negative, you know the truth because you see the truth. Now, you don't respond. Ain't nobody saying respond and be disrespectful, but don't let what you hear negative affect you because you know the truth. So when you know the truth, it ain't gonna matter what anybody say, and you're not worried about it.
Oh, this makes sense, man. This is feeling good. Fellas, y'all doing all right?
So hey, I'm gonna he's off here. I just left the hospital. So
Cool, man. It's COVID season. Wash your hands when you get back and touch any other patients, bro.
yeah, man, I gotta wash my hands like 500 times a day seeing all these patients. Good.
Do your thing, man. Shout out to the resident doctor for making
I'm
time.
glad to see everybody on top of the ground. So y'all be safe.
Absolutely.
Happy
Appreciate it.
holidays.
All right, my brothers.
Right on, man. We got about 20 minutes left in the show and the broadcast tonight, man. I'm feeling good. Sean has chimed in. My man Billy Gillespie's chimed in from Kansas City. This is the online happy hour, and we're talking about what single dads do during the holidays. Fellas, I got plenty of questions, man. I hope y'all got answers. This is about to get real, okay?
Okay.
So, Sean, where you at right now, Sean? Looks like you in the truck.
No, I'm sitting in my car right now, man. I'm waiting to get in my truck.
Okay.
I gotta go take a load to Houston, man. I'm doing some FedEx runs tonight.
Okay.
Yes.
So before you get on the road, let me chime you with this, and I'm gonna come back to Billy on this one. What is one thing you would like your significant other to understand that you go through during the holidays?
Man,
significant other, I guess.
trying to be a good parent.
Okay.
Continuing trying to be a good parent no matter what through the holidays, and then with this COVID stuff we got going on right now, that's making an even bigger challenge. So I just be trying to reinforce to her, hey man, look, we're in this together and we got to do the best we can. Like I tell my ex-wife all the time, man, look, we don't have to get along for each other, but we have to get along for our child.
Yeah.
Because it's our child first, man. It's our child first.
Okay. I dig it. Billy, what are your thoughts on that? Same question.
Definitely the same. The bottom line is you got to co-parent.
Mm-hmm.
You got to co-parent, and if you don't, I think that's when you start to see a change in the child, because there's gonna be this and that on the other side that you're not hearing. So if you openly discuss it, you openly talk about being a co-parent, what can we do? How can we change this or whatever? It helps the situation because you're reinforcing on two different sides, not saying one thing on this side and then hearing something different on the other side. Okay. So I think it's very important to co-parent. And like he said, I don't do it for my ex-wife. Lord knows I don't want to do it for my ex-wife, but I do it for my kid's mother. 100% do it for my kid's mother. Yep.
Awesome, man. This is good. This is a real good topic, man. A real good talk tonight. I think that the ladies don't understand that the brothers can get intimate on this, right? So if you wouldn't mind, Bill, I think you got more time. Sean, you still waiting for your ride? Let's get you first, Sean. Talk about this, man. Both of you all on this one, man. And you may want to kind of have a sip on this one first, Billy. Can you share your favorite your favorite holiday that you spent with your child by yourself? Which holiday, which Christmas or which holiday stands out the most? And what was that like?
Man, that's a good one, man, because we pretty much spend holidays with family all the time, either with her family, with my family. Well, I wouldn't pretty much say my family because my mother and them, they don't celebrate Christmas. They Jehovah's Witnesses, so I get to save some money on that one. But my phone it froze up. Hey man,
Right.
for real. Say, but yeah, man, I try to like I say, we kick it. We hang out, both families, so it's real pretty good. But a birthday, we still share that together.
More than the other right now?
Huh?
Does one stick out more than the other right now?
No, not really. They pretty much all the same.
Yeah. What about you, Billy?
As far as holidays, I'm gonna have to go with Halloween and 4th of July. One, his mom doesn't like 4th of July, and two, my son's birthday is the day before Halloween. So 4th of July is huge. Anybody that knows my little brother, it's massive. I mean, 4th of July, it's a block party every year, repeatedly. And it's a big deal for us at the 100th Street over in Raytown. Close off both ends of the block, and it goes nonstop. I mean, it's a nonstop party, and it's something that my family has always celebrated with a massive effort. It's not a small thing ever.
Right.
And my son sees that. He used to not like fireworks. Now he likes them. And then the second one would be, I say Halloween, but I say his birthday, and it usually is, his mother's a cop, so there's several Halloweens that she works. So there's a lot of times that it's just me, and we go around and we trick or treat. And I've dressed up with him before. I don't do it anymore. He kind of too old for that now, but definitely the Halloween is probably his favorite holiday because of his birthday, but he just loves Halloween in general. So
that's the one that stands out to you the most. And the
Yeah.
reason that question made sense to me, I wanted to say that towards the bottom half of the show, simply because I don't think people understand that as men, as fathers, we don't get recognized enough for the time that we spend, right, and the effort that we put in. I think a lot of times, and this is just my opinion, again, as I mentioned for the show, this is my opinion. It's based on the fact that we just are presumed to be the providers. Here's the money, go do what you do, figure it out, and tell me about it later.
100%.
Realizing that we got some emotion in this, we're invested in this as well.
Yep.
So we don't really see that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No. It's. I think it's an old adage. Like the financial thing. The men should be the breadwinner. Well, I mean, it's 2020. Women they work their butts off. They're equals. It's not men here and women here anymore. We're equal. So one of the biggest misconceptions to me is that if you're not providing financially, you're not providing for your child. Well, what if you can't provide financially? Are you still, if you can, then yes, you should be providing financially, but you should also be providing that support, homework, girlfriend problems.
Yeah.
Your son's gaming and hey, Dad, I can't figure this out. Help me out. Whatever the case may be, you got to provide in that aspect as a support role model, not a financial role model. So I think it's the biggest thing is support. If you're not there to support your child, and I'm not talking financially, if you're not there to support your child, That's where I think they start to steer off. The older they get, if the father's not involved a lot, I think that's where you see them steer off.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, man. Shoot, I gotta get my son in order for a few
Can
things.
I throw something in there, Andy?
Yeah. Talk to me, Bobby. What's up?
All right. So first of all, I think I'm a teacher and a football coach, and I've been doing this for a long time. And throughout all my years of teaching, you have steadily seen the amount of kids in my class and the school as a whole go to single parent families.
Okay, I can see that.
So obviously, divorce or separation is becoming more prevalent.
Right.
Let me just say that I think that the majority of what we see, meaning anybody looking on TV or whatever, it's always the negative. You know what I mean? You always see the negative. You always hear about the bad dad or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Very seldom do you see the good dad. And so my hats are off to the good dads, the ones that are doing exactly what they're supposed to do. Like I said, I'm blessed. I've got a wife that helps me, and I can speak to this just because it's living kind of through Billy and watching his deal. But I want you guys to know that in general, I think social media and the public, they see all the bad. I don't think they see as much of the good as they should, and that's probably life in general, not just parenthood. So as far as that goes, especially speaking on Billy's behalf here, I hope he's okay with this. Is you could see when this all started, right? When the divorce started and it was the single dad, you could just see Billy did what I think any man should do. He slowly built himself a bridge, right? Mm-hmm. And you'll have to follow me here, but every bridge has supports. If it's going over a river, those supports go into the water, right? Well, each of those supports is your family,
right?
Your son, your daughter, whoever it is. If one of those gets weak, right, you have to lean on the other ones. And what I saw watching Billy develop as a man and a father is, as those started to get weak, he started to lean on the other ones to help repair that weak one. And I couldn't be more proud of where he's at right now.
That's a good support system, man.
Yeah,
absolutely.
For sure.
Yeah, we and here's the thing: we don't get this enough. I think a lot of times this gets bypassed, like you said, it gets overlooked. And for men, it's kind of like it's that hidden innuendo that we're supposed to do it.
Right.
But we also heard, in the comments, the ladies want to say, well, what about the women? Yeah, we get that. And there's nothing wrong with that. This is not, we're coming to attack the ladies and the mothers on this. But sometimes men need to get their voice heard and to hear it in a proper way that it can be received on multiple platforms. So if you're watching this on Facebook, you're watching this on YouTube, you're checking this out on Instagram, be sure that you're catching the message. And if you missed it for whatever reason, one, shame on you, but two, go back and rewind so you can get it the right way, right? You don't want to interpret this and hear that, oh, they're bashing the women on this. It's not about that. What it is about is hearing from men and fathers about what goes on in our life and our lifestyles as it relates to our children during the holidays. And a lot of times it doesn't get talked about. Bobby's so right about that. There's a lot of things that are getting pointed out on the negative. Well, my dad didn't show up. I didn't get my favorite toy this year. Somebody didn't come pick me up. There was something I wanted to do this year, and it's easy to put the blame on dad.
Yep.
Because, or for that matter, let's not even say dad. Let's just say the non-custodial parent. So we'll put the blame on the person who's not there as often, because it's easier to lash out against someone that doesn't have to see this on a regular basis.
It's 100% misconception, right? Like there's a misconception. I tell people all the time, they're like, how often do you have your son? 5 days a week. Wait, what? You're a dad and you have your son 5 days a week? Yeah, that's possible. we do that. We step up to the plate. But like Bobby said, and like you said, it's so the negativity on dads who aren't there is so in the limelight, and it's blown up to be bigger than those that are there.
Yeah.
Those that are making a difference, those that are doing mentor type things in this with kids or whatever. That never gets looked at.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. It doesn't. But what does need to get looked at, and matter of fact needs to get heard, is the fact that the platform is available. Folks, if you're just now tuning in and you're getting some of this insight, each and every Tuesday and every Thursday, I drop nuggets of some real talk, real shit, real life from 7 to 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, living vicariously through you. So if you have a topic that you want to discuss, hit us up on the thread. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, or even YouTube. Be sure to get in and dive in on this topic, not only this topic, but other subject matters that, as it relates to us and our community, that we can talk about. And I think this is going to be a good one going forward. Talking about what single dads do during the holidays. So, Billy, talk to me about this, man. What do you got planned for you and Cam going into 2020 for this upcoming Christmas?
For the upcoming Christmas, COVID is. I don't have to tell you. I mean, it's put a wrench in it. Thanksgiving we had something planned, and the siblings couldn't come, and it was a small gathering. Same thing's going to take place with Christmas, unfortunately. My father's not at a place where exposure to COVID is a good thing. So, okay. With that being said, the crowds seem to stay small right now in the Gillespie household with the holidays, and I think we're just gonna do our thing. We'll come by. We'll see mom and dad, and my little brother. Obviously, he's there, so we'll see them like we normally do. Bobby, they've just prayers out to them. They just lost a family member on his wife's side, so they're gonna they're dealing with that, and they're gonna probably stay where they're at. And Melissa, she just had a new baby. They're going to stay where they're at. So it'll be small. But regardless of the size of it, it's the same. Giving, it's the same. And you can give. And what we do, like what we're doing right now, I'll do that with my brother. We'll video talk each other. Yeah, we'll do games online. Yeah, we'll do something like that. So we're still able to interact on Christmas, for sure.
Yeah. We got to take advantage, man. We're working into an age of where this is true information. The information age is bonding now with the transportation age. So if we can look at the fact that we can video conference on multiple things, whether it's Google, whether it's Facebook, whether it's whether it's Facebook, whether it's this platform here, it doesn't matter. We have the ability to kind of stay in contact with one another and still bridge the gap.
Right.
I think it is so important to continue to do that, especially for fathers, especially for men, to continue to lead the way and show the next generation, hey, not only are we able to do, this thing on this platform, but we can show you the way that's going to make sense for you in the future and guide you into a direction in which you can use the tools that are already in front of you.
Yep. True statement.
And house phones and long fucking cords in the kitchen and shit like that. You know what I mean? And that's so far gone now. Like everybody has not only their own phone, but on phone number.
Yeah, I don't even know. Do people have home phones anymore?
Dissecting pager.
Remember when we get the numbers and you'd have to look at the old phones?
43770.
Decode it. Yeah.
You got that 911, you better call that number.
Yeah, pull over to a fucking payphone. And call someone. I used to ride around with a bunch of change in my ashtray, just ready for making fucking phone calls at a payphone.
For the phone. Yep.
My son would never understand it. Like, why do you have all these quarters?
I don't know how many times I used that phone by McDonald's there in Raytown, right there by the grocery store.
Yeah.
You're on the other whole side. I would pull up to the the payphone by the Wendy's on 63rd. They tore that store down, man. I used to work at that IG. I got fired for punching a hole in the wall. Yeah.
So, hey, real quick, I heard something today that I think single household or married household, I don't think it really matters. But with everything that's going on right now, what I heard today, somebody talking on a radio show on my way to school this morning, they said, do something with your kids that you have never done before.
Yeah.
On this Christmas. Do something that when Cameron being 11, when he turns 21, Cameron will say, I remember back in COVID when my dad did this.
Yeah.
Something off the wall, something crazy, something out of the norm, just something fun that you and your son or you and your son and daughters or daughters, whatever, do something that is going to stick out to them, that's going to shine to them. And really, I think the biggest point to make for you, Andy, and you, Billy, and the other dads that were on here, single dads, it all boils down to one thing. Your kids are going to remember you by your memories.
Yep.
Not by your money, not by the things you bought. They're going to remember you by your memories. And if you can think back at your dad and say, I remember this, and you get so tired of naming things off, you probably had a pretty good childhood.
Mm-hmm. But even better, to piggyback off that, if you can do that as a kid, guess what you're going to do to your kids?
Pass it on.
Absolutely.
Keep passing. Like I said, Bobby vouch. We used to go to Gillum Park, Andy.
Wow.
Gillum Park. The greatest thing in the world when we were kids. That huge snowman slide. Like, it was the greatest thing.
Yeah.
We weren't buried in money, but those are memories that will stay with me my entire life.
Gillum was like buried in between two streets, right?
Yeah. Down in the little valley there.
Yeah. I remember that.
Basically like a median.
I remember that.
Yeah. And I also remember in those times just driving around in the old gray Econoline van to look at just
Christmas lights.
Christmas lights.
Find a house with Christmas lights.
Yeah. People do that now. It's a whole show nowadays, and I think they kind of embrace what used to be just the norm of the neighborhood, and now they're making it into a whole spectacle, which is okay. But you kind of rid the essence of somebody taking the time out to do this naturally, as opposed to this is a showcase for them.
Right.
But make the time, man. I hope you all got some good insight out of this, man. Was this good for you?
Yeah.
Oh,
I enjoyed this, bro.
Enjoyed being here. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, absolutely. I can definitely see you two putting together on a platform like this, talking sports, talking tripped out, man, and working something out. I'd love to kind of help you out and put that together, because I think that would be something.
Hey, we need to get together. You need to put the pranks. We need to do the pranks. Get a family channel together with Andy Brown. That would be dope.
I'll definitely tell you how to do it, man. It's cool, man. I definitely want to wrap this up. Bobby, thanks for calling in, man. I appreciate your time. Always love you, dude. Billy, I appreciate you making time, man. I'm glad we got all the video stuff worked out.
Thanks for having me, bro. I appreciate it,
man. Thanks for Sean for chiming in.
Love you, man. Good show.
Always, too, man. Love you, man. Happy holidays to you. Thank you both for chiming in. Don't let this be the last time you both tune in. And
Amen.
For me.
All
right. Thank you for making time, man. These were some wonderful brothers, some wonderful men who chimed in on this show. And I hope you got some good insight about this particular topic. Now you understand what single dads do during the holidays. And if you got some good insight, please tell 3 more people to tune in with you on Tuesday as we come back with another wonderful topic. I can't tell you who's going to be here with us, but I'm sure you're going to enjoy the guests. So I want to say on this wonderful December night, celebrate your family, celebrate your friends. Good night to my family. Go Bob to my frat, and I'm gone. It's your main man, Andy Brown, right here on the Online Happy Hour, giving it to you real. Love you. Thank you. Happy holidays, and good night. Stress around.